Part 1: The Quiet Wonders of Earth. Tonight, we'll take a slow and peaceful journey through the quiet beauty of nature. There is no rush here, only calm observations, gentle curiosity, and the steady rhythm of the natural world. From forests and oceans to deserts and distant mountains, the earth is filled with subtle wonders that often go unnoticed in our busy lives. So settle in, relax your mind, and allow these small stories of nature to drift softly past as you unwind. Fact 1. The Earth is home to an astonishing variety of life. Scientists estimate that there may be around 8.7 million species living on our planet, from tiny microorganisms hidden in soil to the largest animals that move through the oceans. Many of these species are still unknown to science. Every year, researchers discover thousands of new plants, insects, fungi, and animals. Nature is still full of mysteries, quietly waiting to be found. Be discovered. Forests cover about 31% of the Earth's land surface. These vast green landscapes act like the lungs of our planet. Trees absorb carbon dioxide from the air and release oxygen, helping maintain the balance of gases that life depends on. But forests are not silent places. They are filled with hidden communication networks. Beneath the soil, tree roots and fungi connect together, sharing nutrients and signals in a system sometimes called the Wood Wide Web. Some of the oldest living organisms on Earth are trees. In the mountains of California, there are bristlecone pine trees that are more than 4,800 years old. These ancient trees were already growing long before the pyramids were built in Egypt. They have endured thousands of winters, storms, and changing climates. Weathered branches quietly record centuries of Earth's history. Fact 4. The ocean is the largest natural environment on our planet. It covers more than 70% of the Earth's surface. Yet despite its vast size, much of the ocean remains unexplored. In fact, scientists estimate that over 80% of the ocean is still unmapped and unexplored. In the deep darkness far below the surface, strange and beautiful creatures drift slowly through cold waters. Some produce their own light, glowing softly in the deep sea. Fact 5. Bioluminescence is one of the most magical phenomena in nature. It is the ability of living organisms to produce light through chemical reactions inside their bodies. Fireflies glowing in summer fields are one familiar example. But many ocean creatures glow as well. Deep in the sea, jellyfish, plankton, and certain fish create shimmering blue and green lights that move like drifting stars beneath the waves. Mountains are formed by powerful forces deep within the earth. Over millions of years, the movement of tectonic plates slowly pushes land upward. This process can raise enormous mountain ranges like the Himalayas. Even today, Mount Everest is still growing slightly taller each year as tectonic forces continue to lift the land. The mountains rise slowly, almost imperceptibly, in the quiet timescale of geology. Rivers are some of the most patient sculptors in nature. A river may begin as a small trickle of water in the mountains, but over thousands or millions of years, flowing water gradually carves valleys, canyons, and landscapes. The Grand Canyon in the United States was carved primarily by the Colorado River. Its layered rock walls reveal nearly 2 billion years of Earth's history. 8. Deserts may appear empty at first glance, but they are surprisingly full of life. Many desert plants and animals have adapted to survive extreme heat and scarce water. Cactus plants store water inside their thick stems. Some desert animals sleep during the day and become active only at night when temperatures are cooler. Even in the harshest environments, life finds a way to quietly endure. Fact 9. Rainforests are among the most biodiverse ecosystems on Earth. Although they cover only about 6% of the planet's land surface, they contain more than half of all known species. layers of plants rise from the forest floor to the tall canopy high above. Each layer supports different animals and plants. Insects buzz quietly, birds glide between branches, and tiny frogs rest on broad green leaves. Fact 10. The soil beneath our feet is alive. Of healthy soil can contain billions of microorganisms. These bacteria, fungi, and microscopic organisms break down organic matter and recycle nutrients. Without them, plants could not grow. This hidden ecosystem beneath the ground quietly supports the entire web of life above it. Fact 11. Wind plays an important role in shaping landscapes. Over long periods of time, wind can move sand, sculpt rock, and carry seeds across great distances. In deserts, strong winds form sweeping sand dunes that slowly migrate across the land. These dunes can move several meters each year, reshaping the desert landscape little by little. Fact 12. The migration of animals is one of nature's most remarkable phenomena. Each year, billions of birds travel thousands of kilometers between breeding and wintering grounds. Some species navigate using the position of the sun, the stars, and even the Earth's magnetic. Despite their long journeys, many birds return to the exact same nesting locations year after year. Coral reefs are often called the rainforests of the ocean. Although they occupy less than 1% of the ocean floor, they support nearly 25% of all marine species. Tiny coral animals build calcium skeletons that slowly form colorful reef structures over centuries. These reefs provide shelter, food, and breeding grounds for countless fish and marine creatures. Clouds are made of countless tiny droplets of water or ice suspended in the air. They form when warm, moist air rises and cools. As the air cools, water vapor condenses into small droplets. These droplets gather together to form clouds that drift quietly across the sky. Different types of clouds can tell us about changing weather patterns. Nature moves at a deliberate pace, many different speeds. Some changes happen quickly, like a thunderstorm passing through the sky. Other changes happen slowly, across thousands or millions of years. Mountains rise, rivers carve valleys, forests grow, and species evolve. The earth is always changing, even when those changes are too slow for us to notice in our daily lives. And as we continue our quiet journey through nature, there are still many more peaceful discoveries waiting ahead. For now, allow your mind to rest gently with these small wonders of the natural world. The forests, oceans, mountains, and skies will still be here, moving slowly and patiently, long after we close our eyes for the night. In calm rhythms, the rising of the sun, the flowing of rivers, the slow turning of the seasons. These small patterns shape the living world around us, and tonight we simply observe them. Fact 16. The seasons we experience on Earth are caused by the tilt of our planet's axis. Earth is tilted about 23.5 degrees as it travels around the sun. Because of this tilt, different parts of the planet receive more or less sunlight during the year. When a hemisphere tilts toward the sun, it experiences summer. When it tilts away, winter arrives. This gentle tilt creates the familiar cycle of spring, summer, autumn, and winter that shapes life across the planet. 1.7. H2. Leaves change color in autumn because of changes happening inside the trees. During the warm months, leaves contain large amounts of strong chlorophyll, the pigment that makes them green and helps plants capture sunlight. But when days become shorter and temperatures drop, trees stop producing chlorophyll. As the green fades, Other colors hidden within the leaves begin to appear. Warm shades of yellow, orange, and red. H2. Fact 18. Some forests remain green all year long. These are called evergreen forests. Trees such as pine, spruce, and fir keep their needles through the winter. Their thin needle-shaped leaves help them conserve water and survive cold temperatures. Because they do not lose their leaves each year, these forests maintain their quiet green color, even during snowy winters. Fact 19. Water is constantly moving through the environment in a process known as the water cycle. Water evaporates from oceans, lakes, and rivers when warmed by the sun. It rises into the atmosphere as vapor, cools, and forms clouds. Eventually, this moisture returns to the earth as rain or snow. This endless cycle has been repeating on our planet for billions of years. Fact 20. Snowflakes form high in the atmosphere when water vapor freezes around tiny particles of dust. As they fall through the clouds, the crystals grow and develop intricate patterns. No two snowflakes are exactly the same. Each one forms under slightly different conditions of temperature and humidity. For a brief moment, every snowflake carries a unique design before melting away. Fact 21. Many animals use camouflage to blend into their surroundings. This natural ability helps them hide from predators or sneak up on prey. Some insects look like leaves, or sticks. Certain fish blend into coral reefs. Even large animals such as snow leopards use patterns in their fur to disappear against rocky mountain landscapes. Nature has developed countless ways to remain unseen. Fact 22. Bees play a crucial role in maintaining ecosystems. As bees move from flower to flower, collecting nectar, they transfer pollen between plants. This process, called pollination, allows plants to produce fruits and seeds. Without pollinators like bees, many plants, including crops we depend on, would struggle to reproduce. Their quiet work supports entire ecosystems. Fact 23. The Amazon rainforest is the largest tropical rainforest on Earth. It spans several countries in South America and contains millions of species. The Amazon River, which flows through the forest, carries more water than any other river in the world. Ocean, that it changes the color of the sea for many kilometers from the coast. Fact 24. Some plants have developed remarkable ways to survive difficult environments. In dry climates, certain plants grow deep root systems that reach far underground in search of water. Others store moisture inside thick leaves or stems. These adaptations allow plants to thrive even in places where rain is rare. Fact 25. Nature often operates through delicate balance. Predators and prey maintain ecosystems by keeping populations in check. If one species becomes too numerous, it can affect plants, animals, and even landscapes. These balances shift slowly over time, forming the complex web of relationships that sustain life on Earth. Fact 26. Many animals prepare for winter through a process called hibernation. During hibernation, animals like bears, hedgehogs, and certain bats enter a deep state of rest. Their body temperature drops, their heart rate slows, and they conserve energy while food is scarce. When warmer weather returns, they awaken and resume their quiet activities. Fact 27. Birdsong in the early morning is sometimes called the dawn chorus. At sunrise, many birds begin singing at once. Scientists believe this behavior helps birds communicate territory and attract mates. The cool, still air of morning allows sound to travel clearly through forests and fields. For a few moments each day, nature fills the air with gentle music. Fact 28. Tides in the ocean are influenced mainly by the gravitational pull of the moon. As the moon orbits the Earth, its gravity pulls on the oceans, creating rising and falling sea levels. Most coastlines experience 2 high tides and 2 low tides each day. These rhythmic movements shape coastal ecosystems and influence the lives of countless marine species. Fact 29. Many seeds travel long distances before growing into new plants. Some float on the wind. Others stick to animal fur or feathers. Certain seeds even survive journeys through the digestive systems of animals. Through these journeys, plants slowly spread across landscapes over time. Fact 30. Nature often reveals its beauty in quiet moments. A mist rising over a calm lake, sunlight filtering through tall trees, the slow movement of clouds across a wide sky. These small scenes remind us that nature does not need to be loud or dramatic to be extraordinary. Often, the most peaceful moments hold the deepest sense of wonder. And as we continue drifting through the natural world, there are still many more gentle discoveries ahead. So let your thoughts slow down. Allow the quiet rhythms of forests, rivers, mountains, and oceans to guide your mind toward rest. Nature has always moved at its own calm pace, and tonight we follow that peaceful rhythm together. Part 3. Quiet Creatures and Hidden Ecosystems. Facts 31 to 45. As we continue this peaceful journey through nature, imagine yourself resting in a calm landscape. Perhaps a quiet forest at dusk, or a gentle breeze moving across a meadow, or the soft sound of waves touching the shore. Nature is filled with small, steady rhythms. Tonight, we simply observe them slowly, allowing curiosity and calm to drift together. Fact 31. One of the most fascinating abilities in nature is echolocation. Certain animals, like bats and dolphins, use sound to understand the world around them. They emit high-frequency clicks or chirps and listen carefully for the echoes that bounce back. By interpreting these echoes, they can determine the size, shape, and distance of objects. In complete darkness, bats navigate forests and catch tiny insects in midair with remarkable precision. 32. Ants are among the most organized creatures in the natural world. A single ant colony can contain thousands or even millions of ants, each performing specific roles. Some ants gather food, others care for the young, some defend the colony. Together, they build complex underground tunnels and chambers that function like miniature cities. Despite their tiny size, ants demonstrate incredible cooperation. 33. The Earth's largest living structure is the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. Stretching over 2,300 kilometers, this coral reef system is so large it can even be seen from space. It contains thousands of individual reefs and supports an enormous diversity of marine life. Fish, turtles, rays, and sharks move quietly through its colorful underwater landscapes. 34. Some animals communicate through subtle vibrations in ground. Elephants, for example, can send low-frequency rumbles that travel through the earth for several kilometers. Other elephants detect these vibrations through sensitive receptors in their feet. Through these quiet signals, elephants can coordinate movements and remain connected across large distances. Fact 35. Mushrooms are only the visible part of a much larger organism. Beneath the soil, fungi grow vast underground networks called mycelium. These networks consist of tiny thread-like structures that spread through the earth. Some mycelium networks can extend across enormous areas. In fact, one fungal organism discovered in Oregon covers over 3.5 square miles, making it one of the largest living organisms on Earth. Fact 36. The Arctic is one of the coldest environments on Earth, yet many animals have adapted to survive there. Polar bears, for example, have thick layers of fat and dense fur that insulate them against freezing temperatures. Their white fur also helps them blend into snowy landscapes as they move quietly across the ice. Some trees communicate with one another through underground fungal networks. Scientists have discovered that trees can send chemical signals through these connections. If one tree is under stress from insects or drought, nearby trees may receive warnings and adjust their defenses. This quiet exchange of information reveals that forests function as interconnected communities. The blue whale is the largest animal ever known to have lived on Earth. It can grow up to 30 meters long and weigh more than 150 tons. Despite its enormous size, the blue whale feeds mostly on tiny creatures called krill. During feeding seasons, a single whale can consume vast quantities of krill, several tons of krill each day. The Sahara Desert is the largest hot desert in the world. It covers much of North Africa and spans an area nearly the size of the United States. While it may seem empty, many animals live there, including foxes, reptiles, insects, and birds. Many of these animals are active mainly at night when the desert becomes cooler. Mangrove forests grow along tropical coastlines where land meets the sea. Their roots extend above the water and form dense networks that stabilize shorelines. These roots also provide shelter for fish, crabs, and many young marine animals. Mangroves act as important nurseries for ocean ecosystems. Butterflies undergo a remarkable transformation known as metamorphosis. They begin life as small eggs. Then they hatch into caterpillars, which spend their time eating and growing. The caterpillar forms a chrysalis, where its body slowly transforms. When it emerges, it has become a delicate butterfly with wings designed for flight. Fact 42. Lightning is one of nature's most powerful displays of energy. A single lightning bolt can heat the surrounding air to temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun. This rapid heating causes the air to expand suddenly, creating the sound we hear as thunder. Despite its dramatic appearance, lightning also plays a role in helping fix nitrogen in the atmosphere, which benefits plant growth. Fact 43. Sea turtles are ancient travelers of the ocean. Some species migrate thousands of kilometers between feeding grounds and nesting beaches. Remarkably, female sea turtles often return to the exact beach where they were born to lay their eggs. Scientists believe they navigate using the Earth's magnetic field. Fact 44. The Amazon River is the largest river by volume of water in the world. Every second, it releases about 200,000 cubic meters of water into the Atlantic Ocean. This immense flow carries nutrients that support marine ecosystems far from the river's mouth. Its basin contains one of the richest ecosystems on Earth. Fact 45. Nature often thrives in places that appear quiet and still. A fallen log slowly becomes home to moss, insects, fungi, and small plants. A calm pond shelters fish, frogs, and tiny microorganisms. Life continues quietly in places we might easily overlook. Even in stillness, nature remains full of activity. As we move deeper into our exploration of the natural world, the gentle rhythms of life continue all around us. Forests grow slowly, rivers flow patiently, creatures move quietly through landscapes shaped over millions of years. And as these natural processes continue, your mind can slowly settle into calm. There are still many peaceful discoveries ahead in our journey through nature. For now, simply breathe slowly and allow the quiet beauty of the earth to carry your thoughts toward rest. Mountains rise gradually. Rivers carve valleys over thousands of years. Forests grow, fade, and grow again. Nature moves patiently, always shaping the earth in ways both subtle and profound. Let's continue our gentle exploration. Fact 46. The Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. Over this vast span of time, continents have shifted, oceans have formed, and entire ecosystems have appeared and disappeared. The landscapes we see today are the result of countless slow changes occurring across millions of years. Even now, the planet continues to reshape itself in quiet geological movements. Fact 47. Volcanoes are powerful natural features formed when molten rock from deep within the earth reaches the surface. Although eruptions can be dramatic, volcanoes also help create new land. Many islands, including Hawaii, were formed entirely by volcanic activity beneath the ocean. Layer by layer, cooled lava slowly builds mountains rising from the sea floor. Fact 48. Glaciers are massive rivers of ice that move extremely slowly across land. They form in regions where snow accumulates year after year and compresses into dense ice. Though glaciers may move only a few centimeters per day, their movement can shape entire landscapes. Over thousands of years, glaciers carve valleys, lakes, and fjords. Fact 49. Many beautiful lakes were created by glaciers long ago. When glaciers retreat, they often leave behind deep depressions in the land. These basins fill with water, forming clear, calm lakes. Some of the world's most famous lakes, including many in Canada and Scandinavia, were created in this way. Formed this way. The Earth's crust is divided into large pieces called tectonic plates. These plates float slowly on the semi-molten rock beneath them. Sometimes plates move apart. Sometimes they slide past one another. And sometimes they collide, pushing land upward to form mountains. These movements are incredibly slow, but they shape the entire surface of our planet. Some deserts were once covered by oceans millions of years ago. As continents moved and climates changed, the water disappeared and dry landscapes emerged. Even today, scientists can find fossilized seashells and marine life preserved in desert rocks. These fossils quietly reveal the ancient history hidden beneath the sand. Waterfalls form when rivers flow over layers of rock that erode at different speeds. If softer rock erodes faster than the harder rock above it, steep drop eventually forms. Over long periods of time, waterfalls slowly move upstream as erosion continues. This slow process reshapes river landscapes over centuries. Fact 53. Sand dunes are created by the wind. Tiny grains of sand are lifted and carried across deserts and beaches. When the wind slows down, the sand settles and gradually forms rolling hills known as dunes. These dunes are not fixed. They slowly move and change shape as winds continue to shift the sand. Fact 54. Some caves take millions of years to form. Rainwater absorbs small amounts of carbon dioxide from the air and soil, creating a weak acid. When this slightly acidic water seeps into limestone rock, it slowly dissolves the stone. Over time, large underground chambers and passageways form deep beneath the ground. Inside these caves, delicate mineral formations called stalactites and stalagmites grow slowly from dripping water. Fact 55. Nature often creates repeating patterns known as fractals. Fractals are shapes that repeat themselves at different scales. You can see fractal patterns in snowflakes, fern leaves, lightning bolts, and even the branching of trees. These patterns emerge naturally from simple processes repeated over time. Fact 56. The color of the ocean can vary depending on what lives within it. In some regions, microscopic algae called phytoplankton grow in large numbers. These tiny organisms contain pigments that change the color of the water. From space, large phytoplankton blooms can appear as swirling green, or turquoise patterns across the ocean. Fact 57. Phytoplankton are incredibly important for life on Earth. Although they are microscopic, they produce about half of the oxygen in the planet's atmosphere. Photosynthesis. Floating near the ocean's surface, these tiny organisms quietly support the global ecosystem. Fact 58. The tallest trees in the world are coastal redwoods found in California. Some redwoods grow taller than 115 meters, making them taller than most skyscrapers. These enormous trees can live for over 2,000 years, standing quietly through centuries of changing seasons. Fact 59. Many animals rely on seasonal cycles to guide their behavior. Changes in daylight signal birds when to migrate. Temperature shifts influence when plants bloom. Even ocean creatures respond to the cycles of the moon and tides. Nature follows a steady rhythm that repeats year after year. Fact 60. One of the most peaceful aspects of nature is its sense of continuity. Long after individual creatures live and pass, forests continue to grow. Flowing. Winds keep moving across plains and oceans. Nature continues its quiet patterns, reminding us that the earth moves at a calm and enduring pace. And as the natural world continues its gentle rhythms, your mind can rest within that same calm flow. Mountains rise slowly. Rivers carve patiently. Forests grow quietly under the changing sky. There are still many peaceful discoveries waiting ahead in our journey through nature. For now, simply relax and allow these slow stories of the earth to drift softly through your thoughts. Part 5. The Living Web of Nature. As we continue this peaceful journey through the natural world, imagine the earth as a vast and interconnected system. Every forest, ocean, and grassland is linked in subtle ways. Plants grow quietly towards sunlight. Animals move gently through their habitats. Invisible microorganisms work silently beneath the soil. Together, these countless forms of life create a delicate web that sustains our planet. Tonight, we explore a few more quiet wonders within this living network. Fact 61. In nature, energy flows through ecosystems in a pattern called a food web. Plants begin the process by capturing sunlight and turning it into energy through photosynthesis. Herbivores then eat plants and gain that stored energy. Carnivores may eat herbivores, continuing the flow of energy through the ecosystem. Eventually, when living things die, decomposers return nutrients to the soil. This continuous cycle quietly supports life across the planet. Fact 62. Decomposers are some of the most important yet unnoticed organisms in nature. Fungi, bacteria, and insects break down dead plants and animals. As they slowly decompose organic material, nutrients are released back into the soil. These nutrients then become available for new plants to grow. Without decomposers, ecosystems would quickly become overwhelmed with organic debris. Fact 63. Earthworms are small creatures that play a surprisingly large role in maintaining healthy soil. As they burrow through the ground, they create tiny tunnels. These tunnels allow air and water to move through the soil more easily. Earthworms also process organic matter, enriching the soil with nutrients. Because of their helpful role, they are often called nature's gardeners. 64. Grasslands stretch across many parts of the world, forming vast open landscapes. These ecosystems support large populations of grazing animals, such as bison, antelope, and zebras. The grasses themselves have deep root systems that store carbon and stabilize the soil. Although grasslands may appear simple at first glance, they are rich ecosystems filled with life. And Fact 65. Wetlands are among the most productive ecosystems on Earth. Marshes, swamps, and bogs provide important habitats for birds, fish, amphibians, and insects. Wetlands also serve as natural filters. Plants and soil within wetlands absorb pollutants and help purify water. They can even help reduce flooding by absorbing excess rainfall during storms. Fact 66. Some plants grow in environments where the soil contains very few nutrients. To survive, certain species have evolved unusual strategies. Carnivorous plants such as the Venus flytrap capture small insects. After trapping their prey, these plants slowly digest it and absorb the nutrients. Although they still rely on sunlight for energy, these extra nutrients help them survive in difficult environments. Lichens are unique organisms formed by a partnership between fungi and algae. The fungus provides structure and protection. The algae perform photosynthesis, producing food from sunlight. Together, they create a stable organism capable of growing on rocks, tree bark, and other surfaces where few plants can survive. This partnership allows lichens to thrive in many environments. In nature, some species form symbiotic relationships where both organisms benefit. One well-known example occurs in coral reefs. Small cleaner fish remove parasites from larger fish. The cleaner fish gain food, while the larger fish benefit from parasite removal. Larger fish stay healthy. This simple exchange demonstrates how cooperation can exist throughout the natural world. Fact 69. The African savanna is one of the most famous ecosystems on Earth. This wide landscape of grasses and scattered trees supports many species of wildlife. Elephants wander slowly across the plains. Giraffes reach high into trees for leaves. Predators such as lions move quietly through the grass. Seasonal rainfall shapes the movements of animals across the savanna. Fact 70. Migration is one of the most impressive behaviors in the animal kingdom. Some birds travel thousands of kilometers each year. The Arctic tern performs one of the longest migrations of any animal. Each year, it flies from the Arctic to Antarctica and back again. During this journey, the bird experiences more daylight than any other species on Earth. Fact 71. The ocean lies a massive mountain system, known as the mid-ocean ridge. This underwater ridge stretches for tens of thousands of kilometers around the globe. It forms where tectonic plates slowly move apart and magma rises from below. New ocean floor is continuously created along this ridge. Although hidden beneath the sea, it is one of the longest mountain chains on Earth. Fact 72. Some of the most unusual ecosystems exist around hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor. These vents release extremely hot water, rich in minerals. Instead of relying on sunlight, certain bacteria use chemical energy from these minerals to survive. Other organisms, including unusual worms and shellfish, depend on these bacteria. This allows entire ecosystems to exist in complete darkness. Fact 73. Many animals communicate through scent rather than sound. Territories using scent signals. Other wolves can detect these chemical markers and understand information about territory and identity. Although invisible to humans, scent communication is extremely important for many species. Some forests depend on natural fire cycles to remain healthy. Occasional fires remove older vegetation and return nutrients to the soil. Certain plants even require heat from fire to trigger seed germination. After a fire, new plants often grow quickly, bringing fresh life to the forest. One of the most remarkable qualities of nature is its ability to recover. After storms, floods, or fires, ecosystems slowly rebuild themselves. Plants return first, followed by insects, birds, and animals. Over time, life gradually restores balance. Nature carries a quiet resilience that allows it to continue through countless cycles. Exploration of nature. The quiet relationships between living things continue unfolding around us. Plants grow patiently toward the light. Animals follow ancient rhythms of migration and survival. Invisible organisms work silently beneath the soil. All of these processes combine to form the living web of the natural world. And as these gentle patterns continue, your mind can slowly settle into calm. Nature never rushes. It simply continues its quiet work, moment by moment, day after day. Allow that same peaceful rhythm to guide you toward rest. Part 6. The Slow Rhythms of the Natural World. As we continue our quiet journey through nature, imagine the earth slowly turning beneath a peaceful night sky. Forests grow silently in the darkness. Rivers continue their endless paths toward the sea. Mountains stand calmly beneath the stars. Nature moves at its own steady rhythm. Nothing rushes. Everything unfolds slowly over time. Tonight we continue exploring these gentle rhythms that shape the living world. Fact 76. One of the most important ideas in nature is adaptation. Over many generations, plants and animals slowly develop traits that help them survive in their environments. Animals in cold climates often grow thick fur or layers of fat. Creatures in deserts evolve ways to conserve water. These changes happen gradually through the process of evolution. Over thousands or millions of years, species slowly adjust to the environments around them. Owls are among the quietest hunters in the natural world. Their wings are designed to allow almost silent flight. Special feather edges break up air turbulence, reducing noise as they glide. This allows owls to approach prey without being heard. In the calm stillness of the night forest, an owl can move through the trees without making a sound. Some animals survive extremely cold winters by entering a state called hibernation. During hibernation, body temperature drops and heart rate slows dramatically. This allows animals to conserve energy while food is scarce. Bears, bats, and certain rodents spend months resting quietly in sheltered spaces until warmer weather returns. Certain frogs have developed an unusual survival strategy for winter. In very cold climates, some species can survive by entering a state where their bodies freeze partially and then thaw again once temperatures rise. Species allow their bodies to partially freeze. Special chemicals in their blood protect their cells from damage caused by ice. When temperatures rise again in spring, these frogs slowly thaw and return to normal activity. Fact 80. The sound of ocean waves is created by wind moving across the surface of the sea. As wind transfers energy to the water, waves form and travel long distances. When these waves reach shallow coastal areas, they rise and gently break along the shoreline. This steady rhythm of waves is one of the most calming sounds found in nature. Fact 81. In some coastal forests, fog provides an important source of water. Redwood forests along the Pacific coast often receive thick fog drifting in from the ocean. Tiny droplets settle on the leaves and branches of the trees. This moisture then drips slowly to the forest floor. The process helps sustain the forest during dry summer months. Fact 82. Many living things follow circadian rhythms, which are internal biological clocks. These rhythms respond to cycles of light and darkness. They help regulate sleeping, feeding, and activity patterns. Humans, animals, and even plants follow these daily cycles. Our bodies naturally respond to the rising and setting of the sun. Fact 83. Salmon are famous for their incredible migrations. They begin life in freshwater streams. Later, they travel thousands of kilometers into the ocean, where they grow and mature. After several years, they return to the very same streams where they were born. Scientists believe they navigate partly through scent and Earth's magnetic field. Fact 84. The deepest parts of the ocean remain some of the least explored places on Earth. Sunlight cannot reach these depths, yet life still exists there. Creatures have adapted to darkness, cold temperatures, and intense pressure. Some animals even produce their own light through bioluminescence. Fact 85. Nature often reveals beautiful patterns and symmetry. Flowers frequently grow with petals arranged in repeating shapes. Snowflakes form delicate geometric crystals. The spiral pattern found in seashells, pine cones, and hurricanes follows mathematical relationships known as the Fibonacci sequence. These patterns appear again and again across the natural world. Fact 86. Rainforests play an important role in shaping the Earth's climate. Trees release water vapor into the air through a process called transpiration. This moisture helps form clouds and rainfall. In many ways, rainforests help generate their own weather patterns. The forest and the atmosphere remain closely connected. 87. Bird feathers are incredibly versatile structures. They provide insulation, allow birds to fly, and sometimes create vibrant displays of color. A single bird may have thousands of feathers. Each feather is lightweight yet strong. Together they form a flexible system, perfectly designed for flight. Fact 88. Some migrating birds navigate using the stars. Researchers have found that certain birds can recognize patterns in the night sky. These celestial guides help them maintain direction during long migrations. Even on cloudy nights, birds may still sense Earth's magnetic field to stay on course. Fact 89. Life on Earth can survive in surprisingly extreme environments. Tiny microorganisms live inside hot springs where temperatures are extremely high. Others exist deep beneath the ocean floor or within Antarctic ice. These organisms show that life can adapt to conditions that might seem impossible. Nature often teaches patience. Many natural processes unfold slowly over long periods of time. Forests may take centuries to grow. Coral reefs develop gradually over thousands of years. Mountains rise slowly as tectonic plates shift beneath the Earth's surface. The natural world reminds us that meaningful change often happens gently and gradually. As we approach the final part of our journey through nature, the calm rhythms of the Earth continue all around us. Winds move quietly across plains and forests. Rivers flow patiently toward the sea. The planet continues its slow and steady cycles. Allow your mind to relax within these peaceful patterns. Nature has always moved slowly, and tonight we simply move along with it. Part 7. The Quiet Beauty of Earth. Facts 91 to 100. As our gentle journey through nature begins to slow toward its final moments, imagine the Earth resting peacefully beneath a calm night sky. Forests breathe softly in the cool air. Rivers continue their endless paths. Mountains stand quietly beneath the stars. Nature does not hurry. It moves slowly, patiently, and steadily. Let us explore the final peaceful discoveries of this journey. Fact 91. Some of the oldest forests on Earth have existed for tens of millions of years. Tropical rainforests in regions such as the Amazon and Southeast Asia contain ecosystems that have developed over incredibly long periods of time. Because these forests have remained relatively stable for so long, they contain enormous biodiversity. Thousands of plants, insects, birds, and animals live within these environments. Each species plays a small role in maintaining the balance of the forest. Fact 92. Plants quietly follow the movement of the sun during the day. Some flowers slowly turn their heads towards sunlight as it moves across the sky. This behavior is called heliotropism. By tracking the sun, plants can absorb more light and produce more energy. The movement is so gradual that it can be difficult to notice unless you watch carefully over several hours. Fact 93. Moss is one of the simplest forms of plant life, yet it is incredibly resilient. Moss grows without deep roots and spreads across surfaces such as rocks, tree bark, and soil. It often thrives in cool, damp environments like forest floors and shaded valleys. Over time, moss can form soft green carpets that cover stones and fallen logs. These quiet patches of green add a peaceful beauty to many natural landscapes. Fact 94. Wind moving through trees creates one of nature's most calming sounds. As air flows between branches and leaves, it produces a gentle rustling noise. Each tree species creates slightly different sounds depending on the shape of its leaves. Some leaves produce soft whispers, while others create deeper rustling tones. Together, forests can produce a soothing natural symphony carried by the wind. Fact 95. The night sky is one of the most ancient parts of nature we can observe. When we look at distant stars, we are seeing light that began traveling across space many years ago. Some stars visible in the night sky are hundreds or even thousands of light years away. This means the light reaching Earth tonight may have started its journey long before modern civilization existed. Looking at the stars reminds us how vast and timeless the universe truly is. Fact 96. Nature expresses beauty through an incredible range of colors. Bright flowers attract pollinators such as bees and butterflies. Some animals display vibrant colors to warn predators that they may be dangerous or toxic. Other animals use natural colors and patterns to blend into their surroundings. Across forests, oceans, and deserts, color plays an important role in survival and communication. Fact 97. Sunsets occur because of the way sunlight travels through the Earth's atmosphere. When the sun is high in the sky, its light travels a shorter distance through the air. But when the sun moves closer to the horizon, its light passes through more of the atmosphere. Shorter wavelengths scatter away, leaving warm colors like red, orange, and pink. This process creates the beautiful colors often seen during sunset. Fact 98. Even the smallest drop of water can contain an entire hidden world. Pond water, for example, often contains tiny microorganisms invisible to the human eye. These microscopic creatures move slowly through the water as they feed and reproduce. Although they are too small to see without a microscope, they are part of the vast diversity of life on Earth. Nature exists at scales both enormous and incredibly small. Fact 99. Throughout Earth's long history, life has shown an incredible ability to adapt. Ice ages have come and gone. Continents have slowly drifted across the planet. Species have evolved and changed. Yet life has continued to find ways to survive and flourish. Nature's quiet resilience has allowed it to endure through countless changes. Fact 100. Perhaps the most comforting truth about nature is its sense of continuity. Long after we fall asleep tonight, forests will remain standing. Rivers will continue flowing. The ocean tides will rise and fall. Stars will still shine above the earth. Calm and steady rhythm. And this quiet rhythm continues without hurry. As our journey through nature gently comes to an end, imagine yourself resting peacefully within this vast and beautiful world. The forests remain calm. The oceans move slowly beneath the moon. The mountains stand quietly beneath the stars. All around you, the earth continues its patient rhythms. Allow your breathing to slow. Let your thoughts drift away, like clouds moving across the night sky. Nature never rushes, and tonight, neither do you. The world will still be here in the morning. For now, simply rest. Sleep peacefully. Trees stretch upward toward the sky. Soft moss covers the ground beneath your feet. Somewhere in the distance, a gentle breeze moves through the leaves. Nature is full of calm and quiet places like this. In this final section, we explore a few more gentle wonders found in forests, plants, and natural landscapes. Fact 101. Forests cover nearly 1/3 of the Earth's land surface. These ecosystems are home to an enormous variety of plants and animals. Some forests grow in warm tropical climates. Others grow in colder regions where winter snow covers the ground for months. Each forest has its own unique balance of life. Together, they form one of the most important natural systems on Earth. 102. Trees grow slowly but steadily. Inside each tree trunk are rings that record the passage of time. Every year a new ring forms. By counting these rings, scientists can estimate how old a tree is. Some trees have lived for thousands of years. These ancient trees have quietly witnessed centuries of changing seasons. Fact 103. Plants use sunlight as their primary source of energy. Through a process called photosynthesis, plants convert sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide into energy. This energy allows them to grow and produce oxygen. Almost every living thing on Earth depends on this process in some way. Without plants, life on our planet would not be possible. Fact 104. Roots play an important role in the life of plants. Roots anchor plants into the soil. They also absorb water and nutrients needed for growth. Some trees grow roots that extend far underground. Others spread wide networks of roots close to the surface. These root systems help stabilize soil and prevent erosion. H3. Fact 105. Many forests have multiple layers of plant life. The tallest trees form the strong canopy, which captures most of the sunlight. Below the canopy is the understory, where smaller trees and shrubs grow. Closer to the ground are ferns, mosses, and other low plants. Each layer creates a unique environment for different animals and insects. H3. Fact 106. Ferns are among the oldest plant species on Earth. They appeared more than 300 million years ago. Unlike many plants, ferns do not produce seeds or flowers. Instead, they reproduce using tiny spores. These spores are released into the air and carried by the wind. Over time, they settle into soil and grow into new ferns. H3. Fact 107. Many forests produce their own microclimates. Large groups of trees influence temperature, humidity, and wind patterns. The shade of the canopy keeps the ground cooler. Moisture from plants increases humidity in the air. Because of this, forests often feel calmer and cooler than nearby open land. Fact 108. Leaves come in an incredible variety of shapes and sizes. Some leaves are long and narrow. Others are broad and flat. These shapes help plants capture sunlight efficiently. Leaf shape can also help plants survive in different climates. For example, needle-shaped leaves help trees survive cold winters. Fact 109. Seeds travel in many different ways. Some float on the wind. Others attach themselves to animals. Certain seeds even float on water and travel across rivers or oceans. Through these journeys, plants slowly spread across landscapes. Fact 110. Cycles. After trees fall or storms clear parts of the forest, new plants begin to grow. Sunlight reaches the forest floor and young trees slowly appear. Over time, these young plants grow into a new generation of forest. This natural process is called ecological succession. Fact 111. Many animals depend entirely on forests for survival. Birds build nests in branches. Insects live among leaves and bark. Mammals use tree trunks for shelter and protection. Forests provide food, shelter, and safe environments for countless species. Fact 112. Some plants communicate through chemical signals. When insects begin eating a plant, the plant may release chemicals into the air. Nearby plants can detect these signals and activate their own defenses. This quiet communication helps plants respond to threats. Fact 113. Some of the tallest trees in the world are found in ancient forests. Coastal redwoods. These trees grow along the western coast of North America. Some redwoods reach heights of over 100 meters. Despite their height, they grow slowly and may live for more than 2,000 years. Walking among these trees can feel like entering an ancient world. Fact 114. Nature also creates calm, open landscapes such as meadows and fields. Wildflowers grow in these areas during warm seasons. Bees, butterflies, and birds visit these flowers in search of nectar and pollen. The gentle movement of grasses in the wind creates a peaceful and relaxing scene. Fact 115. Even fallen trees play an important role in nature. When a tree falls, it slowly becomes part of the forest floor. Fungi grow on the wood. Insects move into the bark. Eventually, the tree decomposes and returns nutrients to the soil. This natural recycling process supports future plant growth. Fact 116. The scent of forests often comes from chemicals released by trees and plants. Pine trees release oils that create the familiar fresh forest smell. Other plants release scents after rainfall. These natural aromas can make forests feel refreshing and calming. Fact 117. Streams and small rivers often flow through forest landscapes. These waterways provide drinking water for animals and support fish and amphibians. The sound of moving water adds another peaceful element to forest environments. Fact 118. Forests help regulate Earth's climate. Trees absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and store it within their wood and leaves. This process helps reduce the amount of carbon dioxide in the air. Because of this, forests play a crucial role in maintaining global climate balance. Fact 119. Nature is constantly changing. Up here still. Leaves grow and fall. Animals move through the landscape. Seeds sprout quietly in the soil. These changes happen slowly, often without being noticed. But over time, they shape the living world around us. Perhaps the most peaceful lesson nature offers is patience. Forests grow slowly. Mountains rise gradually. Rivers carve valleys over thousands of years. Nature reminds us that not everything needs to happen quickly. Sometimes the most beautiful things take time. And as our quiet exploration of nature continues, imagine yourself resting peacefully within this vast natural world. The forests remain calm, the rivers continue their steady flow, the earth slowly turns beneath the stars. Nature moves at its own gentle pace, and tonight you can rest within that calm rhythm. Part 9. Oceans, Animals, and the Quiet Planet. As we continue drifting through the peaceful wonders of nature, imagine standing beside a quiet ocean at night. The water moves slowly beneath the moon. Gentle waves reach the shore and softly fade away. Far beyond the horizon, vast ecosystems stretch across the oceans of the earth. Life exists in nearly every corner of this enormous environment. From the smallest drifting organisms to the largest animals that have ever lived, the oceans are full of quiet mysteries. Tonight, we continue exploring the natural world, slowly and calmly. Fact 121. The oceans cover more than 70% of the Earth's surface. They form the largest habitat on the planet. Despite their size, scientists estimate that much of the ocean is still unexplored. Many species living in deep waters remain unknown to science. The ocean continues to hold countless discoveries waiting beneath the surface. Fact 122. Ocean currents move enormous amounts of water across the globe. These currents are driven by wind, temperature differences, and the rotation of the Earth. They help distribute heat around the planet and influence weather patterns. Some currents move slowly across entire oceans over many months or even years. Fact 123. Plankton are tiny organisms that drift through ocean water. Although they are microscopic, they are incredibly important for life on Earth. Plankton form the base of many ocean food chains. Many fish, whales, and other marine animals depend on them for food. Without plankton, marine ecosystems would not exist as they do today. Fact 124. The blue whale is the largest animal ever known to live on Earth. It can grow longer than 30 meters and weigh more than 150 tons. Despite its enormous size, the blue whale feeds mostly on tiny shrimp-like creatures called krill. During feeding season, a blue whale may consume several tons of krill each day. Fact 125. Some marine animals travel incredible distances across the oceans. Whales migrate thousands of kilometers each year between feeding and breeding areas. These long journeys often follow ancient routes that have been used for generations. Scientists believe whales use sound, memory, and Earth's magnetic field to navigate. Fact 126. The deep ocean is one of the most mysterious places on Earth. Sunlight cannot reach the deepest regions of the sea, yet life still exists there. Many deep-sea animals have adapted to darkness and extreme pressure. Some even produce their own light through bioluminescence. Fact 127. Bioluminescence occurs when living organisms create light through chemical reactions inside their bodies. The deep ocean. This light can glow blue or green. Some animals use this light to attract prey. Others use it to communicate or to hide from predators. Entire areas of the ocean can sometimes shimmer softly with glowing plankton. Fact 128. Coral reefs are among the most diverse ecosystems on Earth. Although they cover less than 1% of the ocean floor, they support thousands of species. Fish, sea turtles, mollusks, and countless other creatures live among coral structures. These reefs grow slowly over many years as tiny coral animals build their skeletons. Fact 129. Sea turtles have existed on Earth for more than 100 million years. These ancient reptiles travel long distances through the ocean. Female sea turtles often return to the same beaches where they were born in order to lay their eggs. This remarkable journey may rely on their ability to sense the Earth's magnetic field. Fact 130. Dolphins are highly intelligent marine mammals. They communicate using a series of whistles, clicks, and body movements. Dolphins are also known for their social behavior. They often travel in groups called pods and cooperate while hunting for food. Their playful behavior has fascinated humans for centuries. Fact 131. Octopuses are among the most unusual animals in the ocean. They have soft bodies and 8 flexible arms. Octopuses are capable of changing both color and texture to blend into their surroundings. This ability allows them to hide from predators or sneak up on prey. Fact 132. Seagrass meadows grow in shallow coastal waters around the world. Although they may look simple, these underwater fields support many marine species. Fish, turtles, and small invertebrates rely on seagrass habitats for food and shelter. Seagrass also helps stabilize the water, ocean floor, and store carbon. Fact 133. Some fish form large schools containing thousands of individuals. Swimming together provides protection from predators. When a predator approaches, the school can move as a single coordinated group. These movements create beautiful swirling patterns beneath the water. Fact 134. The ocean floor contains vast mountain ranges known as mid-ocean ridges. These underwater ridges are formed by tectonic activity. New ocean crust slowly forms along these ridges as molten rock rises from below the Earth's surface. Although hidden beneath the sea, this geological activity continues constantly. Fact 135. Many seabirds spend most of their lives far from land. Some species can glide across the ocean for hours using ocean winds. They return to land only to nest and raise their young. Their lives are closely connected to the rhythms of the ocean. H3. Fact 136. Some animals rely on the moon to guide their behavior. Certain marine creatures release eggs and sperm during specific phases of the moon. This timing increases the chances of successful reproduction. The moon's gentle influence affects life both on land and in the ocean. H3. Fact 137. Even the quietest beaches are full of small forms of life. Crabs move along the sand. Tiny shells and organisms live beneath the surface. Seabirds search for food along the shoreline. What may appear empty at first glance often contains a hidden world of activity. H3. Fact 138. The sound of ocean waves has a naturally calming effect on many people. The steady rhythm of waves creates a predictable pattern. This pattern can help slow breathing and relax the mind. For this reason, ocean sounds are often used in relaxation and sleep recordings. H3. Fact 139. Across the planet, nature continues its quiet cycles. Tides rise and fall, seasons change, animals migrate, and plants grow. These patterns repeat year after year, forming the steady rhythm of the natural world. Perhaps the most comforting truth about nature is its sense of balance. Even when changes occur, ecosystems gradually adjust. Plants grow again, animals return, rivers continue flowing toward the sea. The earth quietly renews itself again and again. As our journey through nature slowly comes to rest, imagine yourself surrounded by the calm beauty of the planet. The forests remain quiet. The oceans move gently beneath the moon. The wind drifts softly across the landscape. Nature continues its patient rhythm, and tonight, you can rest within that peaceful flow. Allow your thoughts to drift like clouds across a quiet sky. Arrives. F.P. For now, simply rest. Part 10. The Quiet Rhythm of the Planet. As our calm journey continues, imagine the Earth slowly rotating beneath a blanket of stars. The oceans breathe with the tides. The forests stand quietly in the night air. Animals move softly through their habitats, while the world rests. Nature continues its gentle rhythm, whether we notice it or not. Let us explore a few more peaceful wonders of the natural world. Fact 141. Across the planet, many animals are active during the night. These animals are called nocturnal animals. Owls, bats, foxes, and many insects become active when darkness falls. The cooler temperatures of night often make it easier for them to move and hunt. The nighttime world is full of quiet activity that most people never see. Fact 142. Some plants release their fragrance mainly during the night. Night-blooming flowers attract insects such as moths that are active after sunset. These flowers often appear pale or white, so they can be seen easily in low light. Their soft scents travel through the cool night air. Fact 143. Bats play an important role in many ecosystems. Some bats eat insects, helping control insect populations. Others feed on nectar and help pollinate flowers. In tropical regions, certain bats also spread seeds by eating fruit and carrying the seeds to new areas. Fact 144. Many animals rely on camouflage to survive. Their colors and patterns allow them to blend into their surroundings. A leaf insect looks almost identical to a real leaf. A snowshoe hare turns white in winter, so it can disappear into the snow. These adaptations help animals avoid predators. Fact 145. The Earth's atmosphere protects life in many ways. It shields the planet from harmful radiation from the sun. It also helps regulate temperature by trapping heat. Without the atmosphere, Earth would experience extreme temperature changes between day and night. Fact 146. Lightning is one of nature's most powerful displays of energy. A single lightning bolt can heat the surrounding air to temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun. This sudden heating causes air to expand rapidly, creating the sound we hear as thunder. Fact 147. Rainbows appear when sunlight passes through water droplets in the air. As light enters a droplet, it bends and separates into different colors. When the light reflects and exits the droplet, the colors spread out to form the familiar arc of a rainbow. Each rainbow is unique depending on the position of the sun and the observer. Fact 148. Many animals use sound to communicate across long distances. Whales, for example, produce deep calls that can travel through ocean water for many kilometers. Sounds allow whales to stay connected with members of their group, even when they are far apart. Some deserts experience dramatic temperature changes. During the day, desert sand can become extremely hot. At night, temperatures may drop quickly because dry air does not hold heat well. Animals living in deserts often adapt to these changes by resting during the day and becoming active at night. Nature often creates patterns that repeat across many scales. The branching of trees resembles the branching of rivers. Lightning patterns resemble the shapes of roots underground. These repeating shapes are examples of patterns that appear again and again throughout nature. Clouds form when warm air rises and cools in the atmosphere. As the air cools, water vapor condenses into tiny droplets. These droplets gather together to form clouds that drift slowly across the sky. Different types of clouds can indicate different weather conditions. Fact 152. Wind is created by differences in air pressure. When warm air rises, cooler air moves in to replace it. This movement of air creates the winds that travel across the planet. Wind helps distribute heat and moisture around the Earth. Fact 153. Sand beaches are constantly changing. Waves move sand along the shoreline. Storms may reshape the beach overnight. Over time, coastlines slowly shift and evolve as wind and water move grains of sand. Fact 154. Many insects communicate using vibrations. Some insects send signals through plant stems or the ground. Other insects produce sounds by rubbing body parts together. These signals help them attract mates or warn others of danger. Fact 155. Mountains influence weather patterns. When moist air moves toward a mountain range, it rises and cools. This cooling often causes clouds and rainfall on the windward side of the mountains. The opposite side may remain dry and form deserts. In the Arctic and Antarctic regions, the sun behaves very differently than in other places. During summer, the sun may remain above the horizon for nearly 24 hours. In winter, darkness may last for weeks or even months. Animals living in these regions have adapted to these unusual light cycles. Some seeds can remain dormant for many years before growing. They wait until conditions such as temperature and moisture are just right. Once the conditions are favorable, the seed begins to sprout and grow. This ability helps plants survive unpredictable environments. Water is one of the most important substances for life. Every living organism depends on water in some way. Nutrients regulate temperature and support countless biological processes. Much of the Earth's surface is covered by water. Fact 159. Nature often creates peaceful sounds that help calm the mind. The rustling of leaves, the gentle flow of a stream, the rhythmic movement of waves along the shore. These natural sounds can slow our breathing and help us relax. Fact 160. The Earth itself moves slowly through space. Our planet rotates once every 24 hours. At the same time, it travels around the sun once every year. These movements create the cycles of day and night and the changing seasons. Although we rarely notice it, the Earth is always moving through the universe. As our quiet journey through nature continues, imagine yourself resting peacefully beneath the night sky. The forests are still. The oceans move slowly in the darkness. The stars shine above the silent planet. Nature continues its calm rhythm. Part 11. Mountains, Weather, and the Living Earth. Facts 161 through 175. Nature is constantly shaping the planet in quiet and gradual ways. Mountains rise slowly over millions of years. Wind moves sand across deserts. Rain and rivers carve valleys through rock. These processes often happen so slowly that they are almost impossible to notice within a human lifetime. Yet over long periods of time, they transform the surface of the Earth. Fact 161. Mountains are formed mainly by the movement of tectonic plates. These plates slowly push against each other deep beneath the Earth's surface. When two plates collide, the land between them may be forced upward. This process can create enormous mountain ranges. The Himalayas, for example, were formed when the Indian plate collided with the Eurasian plate. Fact 162. Even today, some mountain ranges continue to grow millimeters each year as tectonic pressure continues beneath the Earth's crust. Although the movement is extremely slow, it shows that the planet is still changing. Fact 163. Rivers play an important role in shaping landscapes. Over time, flowing water gradually wears away rock and soil. This slow erosion can carve valleys and canyons. The Grand Canyon in the United States was created by the Colorado River over millions of years. Fact 164. Rainfall is part of the Earth's natural water cycle. Water evaporates from oceans, lakes, and rivers. It rises into the atmosphere and forms clouds. Eventually, the water returns to the surface as rain or snow. This cycle has been repeating for billions of years. Fact 165. Thunderstorms form when warm, moist air rises quickly into the atmosphere. As the air rises, it cools and condenses into clouds. When conditions are right, powerful storm clouds called cumulonimbus clouds develop. These clouds can produce lightning, thunder, heavy rain, and strong winds. Fact 166. Snow forms when water vapor freezes into ice crystals inside clouds. As these crystals grow, they develop into snowflakes. Each snowflake forms a unique pattern depending on temperature and humidity. Because of this, no two snowflakes are exactly the same. Fact 167. Glaciers are enormous masses of ice that move slowly across land. They form when layers of snow build up over many years and compress into dense ice. Although glaciers move only a few centimeters each day, they can reshape landscapes over time. They carve valleys, move rocks, and create lakes. Fact 168. Many of the lakes in northern Europe and North America were created by glaciers during the last ice age. As glaciers moved across the land, they carved depressions in the ground. When the water from melting glaciers filled these depressions, lakes were formed. Glaciers eventually melted. These depressions filled with water. Fact 169. P. Volcanoes occur where molten rock from inside the earth reaches the surface. P. Although eruptions can be dramatic, volcanoes also help create new land. Many islands around the world were formed by volcanic activity. Hawaii is one example of a volcanic island chain. P. Fact 170. P. Wind is another powerful force that shapes the Earth's surface. In deserts, wind carries grains of sand across the landscape. Over time, this movement forms sand dunes. P. These dunes slowly shift and change shape depending on wind direction. P. Fact 171. P. Some deserts were once covered by oceans. P. Over millions of years, changes in climate and tectonic movement cause the water to disappear. P. Scientists sometimes find fossilized sea creatures preserved in desert rocks. P. These fossils reveal the ancient history of these landscapes. 172. Caves form slowly when slightly acidic water dissolves certain types of rock, such as limestone. Over thousands of years, this process creates underground chambers and tunnels. Inside some caves, mineral deposits form structures called stalactites and stalagmites. These formations grow extremely slowly, sometimes only a few millimeters per century. HRH3. Fact 173. The Earth's crust is constantly being recycled. New crust forms at mid-ocean ridges where magma rises from below. Older crust is pushed downward into the Earth's mantle at subduction zones. This slow recycling process reshapes the planet over geological time. HR. Fact 174. Weather patterns are influenced by many factors, including temperature, wind, ocean currents, and geography. Mountains, oceans, and forests all play roles in shaping local climates. These interactions create the wide variety of weather conditions experienced across the planet. Fact 175. The Earth is always changing, even when those changes are too slow to notice. Mountains rise, rivers carve valleys, glaciers move slowly across the land. These quiet geological processes continue shaping the planet every day. Part 12. Landscapes, Climate, and the Changing Earth. Facts 176 to 190. The surface of the Earth is constantly shaped by slow natural processes. Wind, water, temperature, and geological forces work together over long periods of time. These processes often happen so gradually that they are almost impossible to notice within a single human lifetime. Yet, over thousands or millions of years, they transform the planet. Mountains rise, valleys deepen, and coastlines shift. The landscapes we see today are the result of these quiet forces acting patiently over time. Fact 176. The Earth's continents are slowly moving. This movement is called continental drift. The large tectonic plates that form the Earth's surface float on the semi-molten layer beneath them. These plates move only a few centimeters each year. Although the movement is extremely slow, it gradually changes the positions of continents over millions of years. Fact 177. Hundreds of millions of years ago, the continents were joined together in a single landmass known as Pangaea. Over time, tectonic forces slowly pulled this supercontinent apart. The pieces drifted away from each other and eventually formed the continents we know today. Even now, the continents continue to shift slightly every year. Fact 178. Some of the deepest valleys on Earth were formed by rivers cutting through rock over long periods of time. Flowing water gradually wears away stone. This process is called erosion. Over thousands of years, rivers can carve enormous canyons through solid rock. The Grand Canyon is one famous example of this slow and powerful process. Fact 179. Rainwater may seem gentle, but it plays an important role in shaping the land. As rain falls, it slowly carries small particles of soil and rock downhill. Over long periods of time, this movement of sediment changes the shape of landscapes. Rivers eventually carry these sediments to lakes or oceans. Fact 180. Soil itself forms slowly through the breakdown of rock. Wind, water, temperature changes, and living organisms gradually break rock into smaller particles. These particles mix with organic material from plants and animals. Over time, this mixture forms the soil that supports plant life. Fact 181. Permafrost is a layer of soil that remains frozen for many years. It is found in very cold regions such as the Arctic. Because the ground remains frozen, plant growth in these regions is limited. However, many animals and specialized plants have adapted to live in these conditions. Fact 182. Ice ages have occurred several times throughout Earth's history. During these periods, large parts of the planet were covered by thick sheets of ice. Glaciers expanded across continents and reshaped the land beneath them. When the climate warmed again, the ice slowly melted and retreated. These cycles left lasting marks on the landscape. Fact 183. Some lakes were formed when glaciers melted at the end of the last ice age. As the ice retreated, it left behind deep depressions in the ground. These depressions filled with water, forming lakes. Many lakes in northern Europe and North America were created in this way. Fact 184. Ocean tides are caused mainly by the gravitational pull of the moon. As the moon orbits Earth, its gravity pulls on the oceans. This creates the regular rising and falling of sea levels along coastlines. Most coastal areas experience 2 high tides and 2 low tides each day. Fact 185. Ocean tides influence many coastal ecosystems. Some animals, such as crabs and shellfish, have adapted to live in areas that are sometimes underwater and sometimes exposed to air. These environments are known as tidal zones. Life in these zones must adapt to constant changes in water level. Fact 186. The Earth's climate is influenced by many interconnected systems. Ocean currents move heat around the globe. Wind patterns distribute moisture and temperature. Forests and vegetation also influence how heat and water move through the environment. Together, these systems create the climate patterns experienced across the planet. Fact 187. Clouds play an important role in regulating Earth's temperature. During the day, clouds reflect some sunlight back into space. At night, they help trap heat in the atmosphere. This balance helps prevent extreme temperature swings between day and night. Fact 188. Fog forms when moist air cools until water vapor condenses into tiny droplets. These droplets remain suspended in the air near the ground. Fog often forms in valleys, near lakes, or along coastlines where cool air meets warm, moist air. It creates calm and quiet landscapes where visibility becomes soft and diffused. Fact 189. Many natural landscapes change with the seasons. During spring and summer, plants grow and animals are active. In autumn, leaves change color and many animals prepare for colder months. Winter brings quieter landscapes in colder regions, where snow covers the ground and many plants rest. These seasonal cycles repeat year after year. Fact 190. Across the entire planet, nature operates through slow and steady change. Rivers flow toward the sea. Mountains slowly rise or erode. Forests grow, mature, and eventually renew themselves. Although these changes may seem almost invisible in the short term, shaping the earth every day. Part 13. Animals, Adaptation, and Life on Earth. Nature is filled with countless living creatures, each adapted to survive in its own environment. Some animals live in forests. Others move across open plains or deserts. Many live in oceans that cover most of the planet. Over millions of years, species have gradually adapted to the conditions around them. These adaptations help animals find food, avoid predators, and survive changing environments. Fact 191. Animals develop special traits that help them survive in their habitats. These traits may include physical features such as fur, feathers, or scales. They may also include behaviors, such as migration or hibernation. Through the process of evolution, species gradually develop characteristics that increase their chances of survival. Fact 192. Many animals migrate long distances in search of food or suitable climates. Birds are among the most well-known migrating animals. Some species travel thousands of kilometers every year between breeding and wintering grounds. These journeys follow ancient routes that have been used for generations. Monarch butterflies perform one of the most remarkable migrations among insects. Every year, millions of monarch butterflies travel from Canada and the United States to forests in central Mexico. This journey can span more than 4,000 kilometers. Despite their small size, these butterflies complete the journey using environmental cues such as sunlight and temperature. Animals in cold environments often develop thick fur or fat layers to help retain heat. Polar bears are an example of this adaptation. Their thick fur and insulating fat help them survive in the harsh Arctic climate. Even their large paws help distribute weight when walking. Across snow and ice. Fact 195. Desert animals must adapt to survive with very little water. Some species avoid daytime heat by becoming active only at night. Others store water within their bodies, or obtain moisture from the food they eat. These adaptations allow animals to survive in extremely dry environments. Fact 196. Camouflage is one of the most common survival strategies in nature. Animals use colors, patterns, and shapes to blend into their surroundings. A stick insect looks remarkably like a small twig. A snow leopard's spotted fur helps it disappear among rocky mountain landscapes. This ability helps animals avoid predators or approach prey undetected. Fact 197. Some animals rely on speed to escape danger. The cheetah is the fastest land animal. It can reach speeds of around 100 kilometers per hour in short bursts across open grasslands. However, the cheetah can only maintain this speed for a brief time. Fact 198. Other animals rely on strength rather than speed. Elephants are the largest land animals alive today. Their size and strength help protect them from most predators. Elephants also use their trunks for many tasks, including gathering food, drinking water, and communicating with other elephants. Fact 199. Many animals communicate with one another using sounds. Birds sing to mark territory and attract mates. Whales produce deep calls that travel through the ocean. Even small animals such as frogs produce sounds to communicate with others of their species. These signals play an important role in animal behavior. Fact 200. Communication in nature is not limited to sound. Some animals use visual signals, body movements, or colors. Others rely on scent signals. For example, wolves mark their territory using scent markings that other wolves can detect. These chemical signals help animals share information within their species. Fact 201. Some animals live in complex social groups. Wolves, dolphins, and elephants all form family groups where individuals cooperate and support one another. These social structures help animals hunt, raise young, and defend against threats. Fact 202. Certain animals have developed remarkable intelligence. Dolphins, for example, demonstrate problem-solving abilities and complex communication. Some birds, such as crows and ravens, can use tools to obtain food. Fact 203. Many animals care for their young until they are able to survive independently. Birds build nests and feed their chicks. Mammals often nurse their young and protect them from danger. This care increases the chances that the next generation will survive. Fact 204. Some species have very long lifespans. Certain turtles and tortoises can live for more than 100 years. These animals grow slowly and reproduce later in life. Their long lifespans allow them to contribute to their populations over many decades. Fact 205. Across the planet, animals continue to adapt to changing environments. Natural selection gradually shapes species over time. New traits appear and may spread through populations if they provide advantages for survival. Through this ongoing process, life on Earth continues to evolve. Part 14. Ecosystems and Natural Balance. Facts 206 to 220. Nature is built upon a network of relationships between living things and the environments they inhabit. These relationships form systems known as ecosystems. An ecosystem includes plants, animals, fungi, microorganisms, and the physical environment around them. Water, soil, sunlight, temperature, and air all play a role in shaping how ecosystems function. Although ecosystems can appear calm and stable, They are always changing slowly. Organisms interact with one another. Energy moves through food chains, and nutrients cycle through the environment. Over time, these processes create balanced systems where many forms of life can survive together. Fact 206. An ecosystem contains both living and non-living components. The living parts of an ecosystem are called biotic factors. These include plants, animals, fungi, and microorganisms. The non-living elements are called abiotic factors. These include sunlight, water, minerals in the soil, temperature, and air. Both groups work together to create the conditions necessary for life. Plants rely on sunlight and soil nutrients to grow, while animals depend on plants or other animals for food. Without the constant interaction between these components, ecosystems could not exist. Fact 207. Energy enters most ecosystems through sunlight. Plants capture sunlight using a process called photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, plants convert sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water into energy-rich sugars. These sugars allow plants to grow and produce oxygen. Animals cannot perform photosynthesis, so they obtain energy by eating plants or other animals. Through this process, energy originally captured from the sun flows through entire ecosystems. Fact 208. Within ecosystems, organisms are organized into levels called trophic levels. Plants are known as primary producers because they produce their own energy using sunlight. Animals that eat plants are called primary consumers. Animals that eat herbivores are known as secondary consumers. At the top of many food chains are predators such as wolves, eagles, or sharks. Each level depends on the one below it for energy. Fact 209. Food chains often connect together to form complex food webs. In a food web, many species are linked through feeding relationships. For example, a plant may be eaten by several different herbivores. Those herbivores may in turn be eaten by different predators. This interconnected structure helps ecosystems remain stable. If one species declines, others may help maintain balance within the system. Fact 210. Decomposers play a crucial role in ecosystems. When plants and animals die, decomposers such as fungi and bacteria break down their remains. This process releases nutrients back into the soil. Plants absorb these nutrients through their roots and use them to grow. Without decomposers, nutrients would remain trapped in dead organisms, and ecosystems would struggle to function. Fact 211. Forests are some of the most complex ecosystems on Earth. They contain many layers of plant life. The canopy forms the upper layer, made up of tall trees that receive most of the sunlight. Below the canopy lies the understory, where smaller trees and shrubs grow. The forest floor supports mosses, fungi, and young plants. Each layer provides habitats for different animals and insects. Fact 212. Grasslands form another major ecosystem type. These wide landscapes are dominated by grasses rather than tall trees. Grasslands support large grazing animals such as bison, antelope, and zebras. Predators such as wolves or lions may also live in these regions. Deep root systems of grasses help hold soil in place and prevent erosion. Fact 213. Wetlands are ecosystems where water covers the soil for long periods. Examples include marshes, swamps, and bogs. These environments support many types of birds, fish, amphibians, and insects. Wetlands also perform important environmental functions. They filter pollutants from water and help absorb excess rainfall, reducing the risk of flooding. Fact 214. Desert ecosystems exist in regions where rainfall is very limited. Plants in deserts often store water inside thick stems or leaves. Animals adapt by conserving moisture or becoming active at night when temperatures are cooler. Despite the harsh conditions, deserts support a surprising variety of life. Fact 215. Coral reefs are among the most diverse ecosystems in the oceans. They are built by tiny animals called coral polyps. These animals secrete hard skeletons made of calcium carbonate. Over time, these skeletons accumulate and form large reef structures. Fish, sea turtles, and many other marine species live within these underwater habitats. Fact 216. Mangrove forests grow along tropical coastlines where land meets the sea. Their tangled roots extend above the water's surface. These roots protect coastlines from erosion and provide shelter for young fish and crustaceans. Many marine animals spend part of their life cycles within mangrove habitats. Fact 217. Some species have a particularly large influence on their ecosystems. These are known as keystone species. Even though they may not be the most numerous organisms, their presence helps maintain ecological balance. If a keystone species disappears, the entire ecosystem may change significantly. Fact 218. Biodiversity refers to the variety of life within an ecosystem. Ecosystems with high biodiversity often contain many species performing different ecological roles. This diversity can make ecosystems more resilient. If one species declines, others may help fill its ecological function. Fact 219. Ecosystems are not static. They change gradually over time through a process known as ecological succession. After disturbances such as fires or storms, new plants begin to grow. Small plants and grasses appear first. Later, shrubs and trees gradually establish themselves. Eventually, the ecosystem returns to a stable state. Fact 220. Although ecosystems may appear separate, they are all connected. Water cycles through rivers, lakes, oceans, and the atmosphere. Animals migrate between habitats. Wind carries seeds across long distances. These connections link ecosystems together into a global network that supports life on Earth. H2, Part 16, Forests and the Hidden Life Within Them. P. Facts 221 to 235. Forests are some of the most complex environments on Earth. They are filled with countless organisms living together and interacting in subtle ways. Tall trees stretch toward the sky, while smaller plants grow beneath them in shaded layers. Birds move between branches. Insects live within bark and leaves, and fungi grow quietly on fallen wood. Beneath the surface of the soil, roots spread outward and connect with networks of microorganisms. All of these elements combine to create ecosystems that are both rich and balanced. Forests may appear calm and still, but they are filled with quiet activity that continues every moment of the day. Fact 221. Trees are among the longest living organisms on the planet. Some species can live for hundreds or even thousands of years. Bristlecone pine trees found in parts of North America are known to live for more than 4,000 years. These ancient trees have survived countless seasons, storms, and changing climates. Their long lifespans allow them to slowly record environmental changes in the rings that form within their trunks. Fact 222. Each year, a tree grows a new ring of wood beneath its bark. These rings form as the tree grows during warm seasons and slows during colder months. By counting these rings, scientists can estimate how old a tree is. The width of each ring can also provide clues about environmental conditions, such as rainfall or drought during that year. Fact 223. Beneath the forest floor lies an extensive network of roots. Tree roots spread through the soil in search of water and nutrients. Some roots grow deep into the ground, while others spread widely near the surface. These root systems help stabilize soil and prevent erosion. They also allow trees to absorb the minerals necessary for growth. Many trees are connected through underground fungal networks known as mycorrhizae. These fungi form partnerships with tree roots. The fungi help trees absorb nutrients from the soil, while the trees provide sugars created through photosynthesis. Through these connections, trees may even exchange nutrients or chemical signals with one another. Fact 225. Fallen trees play an important role in forest ecosystems. When a tree falls, it begins a slow process of decomposition. Insects, fungi, and bacteria gradually break down the wood. Over time, the nutrients contained in the tree return to the soil. These nutrients support the growth of new plants and trees. Fact 226. Moss often grows on rocks, tree trunks, and forest floors. Moss plants do not have deep roots like most other plants. Instead, they absorb water and nutrients directly through their leaves. Moss thrives in damp environments where sunlight is limited. Its soft green growth helps retain moisture within the forest environment. Fact 227. Ferns are another ancient group of plants commonly found in forests. They reproduce using spores rather than seeds. These spores are tiny reproductive cells that are released into the air. When spores land in suitable conditions, they can grow into new fern plants. Ferns have existed on Earth for hundreds of millions of years. Fact 228. Forest canopies form the uppermost layer of a forest ecosystem. Tall trees stretch their branches outward to capture sunlight. This layer receives the greatest amount of sunlight and often supports birds, insects, and other animals that live high above the forest floor. The canopy also provides shade for the layers below it. Fact 229. The understory is the layer of vegetation beneath the canopy. Smaller trees and shrubs grow here in partial shade. Many animals use the understory for shelter and protection. Birds may build nests among the branches, while mammals move quietly through the vegetation. Fact 230. The forest floor forms the lowest layer of the forest ecosystem. This area receives the least sunlight and is often covered with fallen leaves, branches, and decomposing plant material. Fungi, insects, and microorganisms thrive in this layer as they break down organic matter and recycle nutrients. Fact 231. Many animals rely on forests for shelter and food. Deer feed on leaves and plants, while squirrels gather nuts and seeds. Birds search for insects among tree bark and branches. Each species fills a specific role within the forest community. Fact 232. Some animals depend on trees for nesting and raising their young. Birds build nests using twigs, leaves, and grass. Certain mammals, such as squirrels, build nests high in tree branches. These elevated shelters provide protection from predators and harsh weather. Fact 233. Forests also influence the local climate. Large groups of trees release moisture into the air through a process known as transpiration. This moisture can contribute to cloud formation and rainfall. Forests can also help cool the surrounding air by providing shade and releasing water vapor. Fact 234. Forest soils are rich with life. A single handful of forest soil may contain billions of microorganisms. Bacteria, fungi, and tiny invertebrates all contribute to the breakdown of organic material. Their activity helps maintain healthy soil that supports plant growth. Fact 235. Although forests may appear stable, they are constantly changing. Trees grow, fall, and are replaced by new growth. Plants spread into open areas, while animals migrate through different habitats. These gradual changes allow forests to renew themselves over time, while maintaining the balance of life within them. Facts about nature to fall asleep to. Part 17. Rivers, lakes, and the movement of water. Facts 236-250. Water is one of the most important elements in nature. It moves constantly across the planet, through rivers, lakes, oceans, and the atmosphere. This continuous movement forms what scientists call the water cycle. Rain falls onto land. Water flows through rivers. Lakes slowly gather rainfall and snowmelt, and eventually much of this water returns to the ocean. Along the way, water shapes landscapes, supports ecosystems, and provides essential resources for plants and animals. Rivers carve valleys, lakes collect nutrients, and wetlands form where water gathers for long periods of time. Across the Earth, freshwater environments provide habitats for thousands of species that depend on these moving and still waters for survival. Fact 236. Rivers begin in many different ways. Some start as small streams formed by melting snow high in mountains. Others begin where underground water emerges from springs in the ground. At first, these streams may be narrow and shallow, but as they travel downhill, they collect water from other streams and rainfall. Over time, they grow larger and become rivers that carry water across long distances toward lakes or oceans. Fact 237. As rivers flow across the land, they slowly shape the landscape around them. The moving water erodes soil and rock from the riverbanks and riverbed. These materials are carried downstream and deposited in new places. Over thousands of years, this gradual erosion can carve deep valleys and wide floodplains. Many of the valleys seen today were formed by rivers flowing for millions of years. Fact 238. Some rivers create winding paths known as meanders. As water flows, it often erodes the outer edges of bends while depositing sediment on the inner edges. This process gradually makes the curves of the river more pronounced. Over time, these curves can become very wide and sweeping across the landscape. Meandering rivers are common in lowland regions where the land is relatively flat. Fact 239. When rivers flood during periods of heavy rain or melting snow, they spread water across nearby land. Although flooding can sometimes cause damage, it also plays a natural role in ecosystems. Floodwaters deposit nutrient-rich sediments onto floodplains. These sediments enrich the soil and support the growth of plants that thrive in these environments. Fact 240. Lakes form when water collects in natural depressions in the landscape. Some lakes were formed by glaciers that carved deep basins in the ground during the last ice age. When the glaciers melted, these basins filled with water. Many lakes in northern regions of the world were created through this process thousands of years ago. Fact 241. Lakes often support a wide variety of life. Fish swim in the deeper waters, while plants grow along the edges where sunlight reaches the lakebed. Birds and mammals visit lakes to drink water or search for food. Insects and amphibians may spend part of their life cycles in the water before moving onto land. Fact 242. Beneath the surface of lakes and rivers, countless microorganisms live and grow. These microscopic organisms include algae, bacteria, and tiny animals known as zooplankton. They form the base of freshwater food chains and provide food for many larger species such as fish and aquatic insects. Fact 243. Wetlands form where water remains on the surface of the land for long periods of time. Marshes, swamps, and bogs are all examples of wetland ecosystems. Wetlands support a rich variety of plants that can tolerate saturated soils. They also provide habitats for birds, amphibians, and insects. Fact 244. Wetlands act as natural filters for water moving through the environment. Plants and soils within wetlands absorb pollutants and excess nutrients from water. As water slowly flows through these areas, it becomes cleaner. Because of this ability, wetlands are often described as nature's water purification systems. Fact 245. Groundwater is another important part of the water cycle. Some rainwater seeps into the soil and travels downward into underground layers of rock and sediment. These underground reservoirs of water are known as aquifers. Many communities rely on groundwater for drinking water and agriculture. Fact 246. Springs occur when groundwater naturally flows back to the surface. This can happen when underground water encounters a layer of rock that it cannot pass through easily. The water then emerges at the surface and forms a spring. Springs often create small streams that eventually join larger rivers. Fact 247. Waterfalls form where rivers flow over steep drops in the landscape. These drops may occur where harder rock layers resist erosion, while softer rock beneath them erodes more quickly. Over time, the falling water continues to erode the rock, slowly moving the waterfall upstream. Fact 248. Ice can also influence rivers and lakes in colder regions. During winter, the surface of lakes and slower rivers may freeze when temperatures fall below the freezing point of water. Ice forms a solid layer across the surface, while liquid water continues to flow or remain beneath it. Fact 249. As temperatures rise in spring, melting snow and ice increase the amount of water flowing into rivers. This seasonal change often leads to higher water levels in rivers and lakes. Plants and animals living near these waterways have adapted to these natural seasonal cycles. Fact 250. Freshwater systems are closely connected to the oceans. Rivers eventually carry their water toward seas or large lakes that connect to oceans. Along the way, they transport sediments and nutrients that support ecosystems downstream. Through this continuous movement of water, rivers and lakes remain an essential part of the planet's natural systems.